Hey, superheroes, it's America's Supermom, and today I'm going to be talking about strategizing and leveraging your position online when it comes to networking. So, today is going to be a quick lesson. Some of you are not able to attend our session this evening, so we are going to still plug on business as usual because it's important for us to create routines and systems in the event that things kind of begin to change or evolve. So, as you're doing your business, part of being an entrepreneur is being flexible to navigate through the changes in your industry. Maybe you've got changes with your business, it's scaling up or down, or whatever the case may be. So today we're going to talk about how we can network on social media. So right now, currently, we are experiencing a pandemic and we are sheltered in place. Just giving a little background because this recording is probably something that may be replayed later on. And so we're just going to give a little background as to where we are today. So what that means is a lot of businesses that normally are doing things in person have transformed their or modified their way of doing business temporarily for an undisclosed amount of time. We're not sure how long this is going to continue, but things that normally were face to face are now being converted to an online platform of some type. So, needless to say, one of the industries that really was hard hit was seminars, networking events, places where you really interact face to face. We currently are underneath a social distancing or physical distancing, however you want to say that, where we have to be at least 6 feet apart away from somebody. So we are wearing masks, we are wearing gloves. So the whole concept of giving somebody a handshake, giving them a hug, posing together for selfies, things of that nature is pretty much on hold right now. Are we going to get back to those things? Not sure. But as of right now, we have to continue to move forward and see how things progress as we go. So we are now transforming what it means to network. Okay. It's not the normal face to face interaction like we're used to. Not only are we kind of limited with our interaction with coworkers or people that are strangers, it's even people that we know within our community. You know, we're on a place where it's only essential people who are out conducting business for reasons that have to be done. And even then, they're trying to implement social distancing. So, how are we going to use this situation for our benefit? So, we are just going to focus on people who are trying to network online through networking events. So, the first thing that I want to suggest for you is to reach out to individuals who are hosting events online. So, if you go through your social media feed, there's a lot of people who are putting out flyers, invitations for virtual coffees, virtual summits, things of that nature, because they are now transitioning a lot of these events from being person to person to being online. So, what do you say when you reach out to these people? You know, it's like, okay, I know who's having these events, but what do I say? Depending on how you find out about the event, would be one of the first ways on how you can go about contacting them. So let's say that I'm connected to Sally, and Sally has a feed, a timeline, and I noticed that there are events that come up on her timeline that she has been tagged in, or maybe she posted them herself, or whatever they're on her timeline. I may not know the person directly, but I've seen that they're on Sally's timeline and I'm connected to Sally. So, what I would suggest you do is to reach out. Hey, I'm one of Sally's connections. I noticed that you're having this event. Wanted to reach out to find out a little bit more about it. Do you have time for us to schedule a call so that I could hear more about what it is that you are working on achieving? If there's a certain type of customer or someone that you think may benefit from this event. And so this is an opportunity for you to create a conversation. Now, if the event is maybe a day or so away, there's no way for you to contact them ahead of time. I still would reach out and say, hey, I saw this on Sally's timeline, very interested in the material. Is it possible for you to let me know what you're going to be covering? Is there a way that I can send out some of these flyers on my network? Can I help you? What's the audience that you're trying to reach? And so this is an opportunity for you to volunteer, but you begin to get connected with their network. Okay. So if they're posting an event and then you begin to be tagged, or you're promoting this event, the people that may be in their network is now going to be exposed to your name because you are being associated with tagging them or sharing the post or things like that. When you do share the post, if there's anything that's brand, kind of like brand, something with your brand, I would attach that to the post. So for example, don't just share things without writing a post about it. So you could just easily click share, go to this, mark your calendars or something like that. Don't do that. Take the opportunity to figure out a nice intentional message that is going to provide meaning for those who read the post. And this also gives you a platform to kind of brand yourself. So for example, if they're having a networking event on, it's a resume workshop. Okay. And so you can bring up something like, hey, I know a lot of my audience could benefit from this material. With this pandemic, a lot of people are transitioning into different jobs. This may be for you. You may not want to miss it. Mark your calendars, whatever. And then if you have a hashtag or any kind of thing that's symbolic to your particular brand, add that to the post so that people who read the post can read, because most people read the top, they don't do a lot of reading. They look at the flyer with the pictures, figuring out when it is, and then they read a little copy. But if they see that you've added a message that is speaking to a need or solving a problem, then they will take note of that and they might be like, hashtag America's Supermom. Who is that? And then look that up on Google or whatever platform that they're looking it up under. And then you have a segue for them to do some research to check you out and what it is that you do. So that's something that you could do with that. Another thing is you can offer to give them a door prize. So right now, people are trying to get the energy to a higher place because they are going to be doing things in virtually as opposed to in person. So you can offer them a coaching session. It could be some kind of themed gift that you could give, maybe a gift card or whatever. But this is an opportunity for you to cooperate and share or collaborate this event, sponsoring it in some way that's given a benefit and perk for their audience, but it's going to give you a platform to have some marketing exposure that may not cost you very much. So in my case, I'm a Mary Kay consultant. So I have several products that, I just have an inventory. You have to keep inventory if you want to sell products. You can't sell from an empty wagon, as Mary Kay would say. So I have products that I might have in excess. So I can say, well, I would like to donate a Mary Kay gift prize. So not only are they going to talk about what I'm giving, but they're going to talk about who I am, how I might have got connected to them, why I'm giving it. Okay. You could have a card attached. You could have a flyer or whatever. This is an opportunity for you to promote yourself. And they may even give you a few words to speak. You just never know. So that's something that you could kind of work out with the person who's organizing the event. But because you're offering them a gift, that's a great platform for them to give you the floor to say a few words, or give them something that kind of adds a little spice, something different to their event that makes it a little bit better than what they had originally anticipated. Okay. Um, the next thing is you can, if you have another platform, you could use this opportunity to help them market themselves. So, for example, if they're having an event, they need some exposure, you could say, hey, in my case, I have a podcast. So I could say, I would love to have you as a guest on the podcast. We can film, we can record it a certain day so that it is coming out in sync with when your event is going to be. So maybe you want to have it the day before, or you have a week's worth of events leading up to this big event. So maybe you have this podcast and then you have an interview somewhere else. And so you just kind of have this daily list of things that are happening. So this is an opportunity for you to create exposure for your podcast, as well as them creating exposure for what it is that they're trying to market with themselves. It's going to give them that expert type of feel, and increase their credibility for whatever it is that they may be offering. And so this is an opportunity for it could be win-win for both parties. Another thing is seeing if they need a speaker. So depending on what field you're in, you may be able to collaborate and have a speaking opportunity with this event. So a lot of times people, they plan certain events and they have it all down to a science. And then when something else goes awry and they have to make a major modification, that can leave people a little nervous. Sometimes the constraints of thinking that, okay, we're going to have a guest speaker for 25 minutes. Well, when you're in person and you can say, we're going to break for a few minutes and we're going to, kind of network for a second or go to the bathroom, get a drink of water. When you're on virtual, that's not really the right kind of setup, right? So maybe they need more speakers than what they originally anticipated, because they're not going to have those little dead spaces when they're doing something virtually. So this could be an opportunity for you to possibly secure a speaking opportunity, so just an opportunity for you to kind of build and piggyback off of something that they're doing. Another thing is networking, not just with the person who's hosting the event, but you also can network with somebody who is still a part of the event also. So if you find out that it's a virtual summit, for example, and there's a list of the people who are going to be participating in this summit. So not only can you reach out to the person who's organizing it, but you also can reach out to the speakers, get an opportunity to meet with each one of them one-on-one. You could also help them. What type of clients are you looking for? Based on whatever it is that they're going to be speaking. You can make connections with them and other people that prior to them coming to the event. The same thing could happen with you having virtual coffees with them, and just having that opportunity to connect with them individually, and also the whole thing of when they get there, offering them certain gifts, or, for their time, and ways that you can collaborate and things like that. So the last thing that I want to suggest that you could do with an event where there are multiple people that are going to be involved would be to host a virtual get together. Okay. So let's say that you have a virtual summit coming up and it's going to be an all day event or whatever, or maybe it's over a few days. You can offer the host for you to host a virtual get together. So this is like a get together for the people who are all going to be part of this event. You can offer them opportunities to list their goals. What are some things that they want to accomplish? as collectively, just kind of like a last minute get together the night before the event or whatever to steer everybody in the right direction. You could provide them games that they could play virtually. So maybe it is a fun little night where everybody just kind of relaxes and gets to know each other on a deeper level. And it's something that's fun where you could take pictures, you can interact. And so this is like a thing that's not so formal, but it is a bonding exercise for them to come together to accomplish the goal of the summit and all these different things. You could also ask them what are some of the needs that they have after this event, so they're here with this event. Of course, their expectations may be kind of small because things are being changed to a different way of doing business. But you could ask them, what are your long-term goals? Or what do you want to do post pandemic? What are some skills that you are finding that you need to work on in order to pivot post pandemic? So this is an opportunity not just for you to host a fun event, but get some valuable insight for their industry that can help you create products that could be solution oriented for them. You could offer to have a DJ at this event. So, it's a nice time, everybody's talking, it really feels like an actual get together, right? And because I saw the other day, somebody was talking about how they are incorporating DJs into virtual events because it's like a good filler. It makes people feel like they're right at home. During breaks where people are running to the restroom or whatever, even in the comforts of their own home, they still have some kind of interaction. They're feeling connected the whole way through rather than just dead silence and then coming back. Okay, we're back. It adds that element of luxury, uniqueness, feeling like you're really there, just added products and services that can make it more of a memorable experience. Um, so those are my ideas that you could use to network just from somebody who posts a flyer on social media. Now, this was Facebook that I talked about, but you can do this with LinkedIn. You can do it with Instagram, Twitter. Right now, because we are a global doing a lot of global exchange, it doesn't even matter what country it's from. So if it's an industry that you're familiar with, you can reach out and say, hey, what can I do to help serve you? This is the great time to do it because people all over the world are kind of in floundering, trying to figure out what they're going to do next. And so this is a great segue for you to build on those relationships and create new ones for post pandemic. So you don't want to be in a state of analysis paralysis and woe is me, gloom and doom. I get that we're having some major upsets right now, and I'm not minimizing its impact or the pain that a lot of people are feeling. But we have to remember that right now we have the healthcare industry, we have some of the transportation industry with truckers, maybe train drivers. Different people are kind of holding us up right now. And they are in survival mode because the rest of everybody within the economy is in a stay home, lockdown, quarantine status. So that means that they are working harder right now. They are picking up the slack. And so we have to be in a position while we are in quarantine to ready ourselves for taking that baton when it's our turn. So we can't expect these essential workers to do what they're doing forever without getting the rest and reprieve that they're going to need in the near future. So I challenge everybody to think about how can I network, even though it's virtual? What are some skills that I could build during this time so that I can be creating even more value for post pandemic? What are some needs that I am noticing within my community? This will help you align with those type of businesses or organizations so that post pandemic, you will have something that you could be working towards. I know for me in my industry, as a lifestyle designer slash coach, I help people to find out their true voice, empower them to make their own decisions. And one of the things that I know that has already been a struggle is mental wellness. So not only did I have an issue before, now it's even more of an issue because a lot of people are overwhelmed with these changes that are happening daily in terms of their lives being turned upside down, no warning, no preparation. And so it is what it is. However, the challenges are very, very great right now. They are just on steroids, the type of responsibilities that people are having and the lack of clarity and fear, all these things are compounded to a higher level. So I foresee that there's going to be a need for mental wellness help with that. If it's a hotline or if it's coaching as we go through this pandemic, maybe there's something that they need to do to kind of equip them on a regular basis. As things continue to change, they're in a better place to be able to adapt and navigate through those changes. So those are just a few things for you to consider as you think about how you can network. So if you have any other questions, things that would be a little bit more clear for you, or you have something that you just kind of want to bounce off of me and just see if you want to get more clarity, please feel free to send me a message and let me know. There really is no real comments or anything that you could give because this is a recording, but it's an opportunity for you to kind of go over these things and think about how can I incorporate some of these into my business or my daily routine, or maybe it's something that you could do weekly, just catching up with people once a week, reaching out, seeing who has some events that are maybe in your local community or maybe not, but they're just in your industry. So as we think beyond borders and we think about how we can continue to network and build our net worth. See, this is really what's important, because as you build your network, that can convert to your net worth, because you provide value not just for the people that are in your immediate area, but you are promoting growth for people that you haven't even come in contact with. Who were you connected to? Who were they connected to? And so it continues to build as you create organic opportunities to come together. Lastly, I want to say nurture those relationships that you do have. Go through your calendar, diary, whatever, and reach out to those people that you haven't heard from in the past year, the past 18 months, 2 years. I've been on masterminds and people are telling me how people are reaching back out to them that they haven't heard from in 10 years, and they're excited. So take that opportunity to reach back, whoever you have a contact number for. Begin to kind of go through your Rolodex of people and find out what people are doing. Blame it on updating your system, trying to figure out what people are doing, because you have friends who are going to be changing jobs or their industry is being disrupted. So you want to go through your contacts to figure out who you can refer people to. That's a very valid thing that you can express to some of these people that you haven't talked to in a while. You might want to bring them up to speed on some of your products. So maybe you met them, and for me, I've been in and out of Mary Kay for the past, I want to say 10 years. So there was a time when people would call me, oh, I'm not doing that right now. I've kind of let it go. Well, I can call them back and say, hey, I know I let Mary Kay go for a while, but I'm back in it, right? So just different things to kind of let people know the world doesn't revolve around us. And so a lot of times we think it does, but we can go back and get with those contacts and let them know they may be doing something that we're not aware of. Maybe they have a media company. Maybe they're doing podcasting or whatever, something that can complement your business as well. So reach back out to those people, nurture your current clients, uh, got to put a plug in here. Nurture your clients and send them a card. This is always a good thing for you to do, because tell them thank you for being a customer, right? I got this from somebody I did a podcast with her, right? So she sent me a thank you card and her branding is on the back. So this is an opportunity for you to possibly create your own brand of hospitality. So it may not be the send out cards, even though this is great. I mean, this is like marketing. You can't buy this in a business card, but anyway, because somebody will keep this and not want to put this up. They will want to put it up and display it, and all your branding is on the back. And this is like a glossy card, if you guys can see. But anyway, so you want to be able to think about, what is my hospitality campaign? You know, when I get a new customer, what do I do? Do I send them a thank you card? Maybe you should. Maybe in the past we haven't had to do that, but now we have to. We have to create brand loyalty. So maybe we should send thank you cards. Maybe we need to send out cards for their birthdays. Maybe we need to go that extra mile and recognize, hey, thank you for being with me through a crisis. Okay. We could talk about how we stood together during the corona virus pandemic. So there's so many different things that you could do to nurture your current relationships and continue to build for a better future. So this is pretty much all that I have today for our superhero series on how to network through social media flyers or posts. So again, if you have any questions, reach out to me, but really hope that these things were impactful, made sense for you. If you have any problems implementing anything, or you have some other questions, just reach out and let me know. In the meantime, continue to nurture yourself and to nurture others. Talk to you soon. Bye.